Okay, can we like throw flowers on the
Everyone, take a look at the front board. Some of you are trying to memorize these formulas by staring at them. That's not going to work.
It actually does. I do. I forgot.
What you are looking at on the screen right now is what I think of in my head when I'm trying to memorize these or put them on paper. I think of the Pythagorean theorem first, and then I sound it out. A squared plus B squared. I don't put in A and B. What's the final step in most of our Pythagorean theorem questions? Square roots. So that's there. Now I have a framework, and I know I should put in subtraction because I've associated subtraction with distance in my head. Remember, very early in the year, I said something like, Fatima is 10 feet from the door, I'm 25 feet from the door. How far is Fatima from me?
15.
What did you do in your head?
Multiplication.
You subtracted.
Right.
Look at the arrow. Now, look at the arrow. What am I pointing to?
Low.
It's because I associate slope with distance because rise over run are just two distances. You have a rise distance and you have a run distance. So I'm taking the components of the distance formula and writing them here. I'm writing y2 minus y1 from up here. I'm writing x2 minus x1 from up here. So in my mind, I've associated those two with each other because they both involve distances. One is a distance and the other is two distances. Subtraction, distance. Associate them together. Midpoint does not have subtraction in it, so that's how I group it in my mind. How do you find any average? Add and divide. Add and divide. You're finding the average of the x's and the average of the y's. x1, x2. Average of the x's. Average of the y's. No one should forget this. Did everybody have 13 for number one? Those of you who did it. Mistakes we're seeing. Everybody's doing the right work. Things are going great. We get 169, and then they forget to do the actual square roots. 13. People are doing the right work, and then they're squaring incorrectly. They might have a negative 12 and a negative 5. What happens when you square negatives?
Goes positive.
Positive. So everybody should get a positive 169 by the time it's through. Midpoint. What's the word for midpoint?
Mid. Average.
Average. Average the x's, average the y's. You should be getting 3.5, negative 2.5. The mistakes we're seeing. People are throwing this all into their calculator, and the calculator doesn't understand that you want all of this divided. It's thinking you only want the negative 5 divided, or the 7, or the negative 7 here. Do the top, then do the division. Do the top, then do the division. Tell me what you got for number 3.
A.
Did you get A? Good. It doesn't matter where the negative shows up. If I do this, if I get 8 over negative 7, that is the same as that. doesn't matter where the negative is. It could be on top. It could be directly at the fraction bar level. A negative divided by a positive is negative. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. Did I say that right?
Yes.
So the only reason that it's not on the bottom in the answers is because mathematicians don't think it's good form. So they're just pushing it up to the top. It's sort of like our radicals. Do we like radicals on the bottom of the fraction? No.
No, because that's the
Number 4.
No.
Is this uphill or downhill?
that's definitely. Well, I mean, it depends on which way you look at it.
Left to right. Good question. Going from left to right, it is downhill. That means it's either going to be F or G. You could look at the slope formula or just do rise over run. This is over 2, down 1. Down 1. And right 2. Well, that's choice G. Path of least resistance. Use your algebra skills for whatever shows up. I don't know if you're going to see problems that easy anymore. You might see 1 or 2 of them show up. Most of the problems are now 2-step problems that look more like number 5. For number 5, you still have to do a slope. If I do the slope, -2 minus 5, 2 minus -4, you end up with that. That is not your answer. That is the slope of line A. What is it asking for? We now need something that's perpendicular to that. Have a picture in your mind. Take a look at the sideboard for a moment. Is -7/6 going to be uphill or downhill from left to right?
Downhill.
Downhill.
I don't even know exactly what it'll be, but I know it'll be going downhill from left to right. If I want something perpendicular to that, is that new line going to be positive or negative?
Positive.
It's always going to be the opposite of what you're looking at. So what's the opposite sign? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. Flip it.
6, 7.
What's our technical term for changing the sign and flipping it?
Perpendicular. That's
I cannot go over every single thing that we've done this year. If you look back in chapter, it's either 4 or 5, you will find on that test problems like this, where you had to find slopes and decide whether things were parallel or perpendicular. You need to go back and look at those tests. Look at those worksheets that we did. That was a 2-step problem. You did slope, and you had to know the idea of negative reciprocal. That's more typical of what you're seeing these days on the math SOLs. Keep that in your new SOL review section in your notebook.
Oh my, we still have 13.
Well, you said we only got one more time.
I am handing out your homework for the weekend, and I'm giving you a half hour to work on it.
Oh, true. Did you get it done in a half hour?
Get done in 10 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
all right. Before you go distract.
If you distract yourself. What? Oh, you didn't
Thank you.